points and 12 rebounds over her last 4 contests. Number 32 in white as Rutgers gets the opening tip. She's been dynamite.
Yeah, she's been the consistent spot for them. A really tough year for the Scarlet Knights, but, I mean, one good thing is Osh Brown.
Now, Rutgers looking for its first Big Ten win still, but they find the first 2 points there with Shug Dixon.
Yeah, Shug Dixon has, gone up and down a little bit, I feel, as far as confidence throughout this season, just kind of overthinking herself. But right there, you just see a natural instinct to just take the shot, and I like to see more of that.
Here is Tamara Farquhar, and it's fumbled out of bounds by the Spartans, and Rutgers will get the possession back.
And we talked a little bit about before the game saying that, hey, the Spartans are a high-scoring team. They scored 79 last game against Penn State, and then Rutgers, just one of the best in the country at getting stops. And you see right there a turnover already.
Inside for Tia Singleton, out for Laisha Petrie, and she knocks down the 3. Can't script a better start for Rutgers.
Yeah, no, they love to see this. I mean, playing defense, turning into offense. Tia Singleton, great patience down there, be able to kick it out. But you can hit that shot all day long.
Rutgers coming off a game at Maryland where they were close with the Terrapins until it got too late. The first 2 points now for the Spartans, Matilda Eck, and she's a big reason why Michigan State's won 3 in a row.
Yeah, she can shoot the 3. You saw her there moving off the ball, talking to her teammates, good communication. I feel like this team has really great chemistry, and you saw it there with a nice, crisp pass for the open layup.
Eck, the reigning Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Ball denial out top. Dixon will settle it down for Rutgers with 7 to shoot. Uses the Singleton ball screen to get open. Floater from 10. And an offensive board by Petrie. Alicia Petrie sustains the possession on this very veteran Rutgers team. Everybody on the court right now, at least in their 4th season, and the Scarlet Knights are hoping all of this veteran presence will start turning into some W's.
Yeah, hopefully it kicks in. Now's the time. You get into conference play, 0-9 in the conference. Just really look for everyone to just start gelling together.
Here's Sayani Lassiter. She's a 5th-year graduate student. And a look downstairs. Tia Singleton extends the Rutgers start 7-2.
And a nice job. We talk a little bit about Osh Brown and what she creates for her teammates as well. She's a great rebounder, a great scorer, but then you saw there the little screen for Tia Singleton to read off of and take it to the cup.
Try the elbow jumper. It's not there for Alicia Smith. In transition, extra pass. Petrie tries it again and finds the same result from distance.
Wow, nice extra pass. Finding Petrie on the wing and 2 to start. Rutgers has got to love this start right here.
Rutgers has hit 4 of its first 5 shots from the floor. Meanwhile, Nia Clouden on the kick out. And the 3 is not there, but the putback is for Smith.
Scarlet Knight got to be careful here. Putback from Smith. They have 14 offensive boards against Penn State, something where I think they beat Penn State really good at is crashing the boards. They're a tough, offensively rebounding team.
Now Lassiter from the corner. Brown looking for the board. It's going to stay with Rutgers. That's a Rutgers team that is towards the bottom of the conference in all the offensive and shooting stats. As usual, they're at the top of the conference in all the defensive stats, but this start among Rutgers' best, at least in Big Ten play.
Open, moving the ball around, not really forcing things, and I feel like that's when they lose themselves offensively, when they're trying to force and take what's not there.
Now late in the shot clock here, what can Dixon do? Tried to carve her around the screen and got bumped by Smith.
Probably just bumped her knee a little bit, shaking up.
Now for Rutgers, Thursday was a 72-55 loss at Maryland, but a 3-point game midway through the 3rd quarter. Rutgers really felt it had a chance to pull one off on the road. They're trying to pull one off here at home. Dixon with 3 to shoot. Oh, good slip for Osh Brown. Again, everything coming up Rutgers early.
Nice pass and nice patience. Shug Dixon creating, and then Osh Brown just reading her teammate, catching eyes, being able to slip back door. We're going to be seeing a lot of off-the-ball movement for Rutgers. That's what they're going to have to do to win this game today.
Here's Eck on the dribble drive. Farquhar lowers her shoulder. That's a tough shot. The Rutgers bigs made it difficult.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic. I mean, Michigan State not running their offense right now, just a little sporadic and trying to force shots, but they're going to have to work the ball around a little bit more and do what Rutgers is doing to them.
Osh Brown has been a monster in the post this season. Tons of double-doubles, 7 on the year, and that time has to force it back out. And Sayani Lassiter will look to work late in the shot clock now. Slip for Singleton. Dixon finds it from the mid-range, and
why not?
when you're hot and you're lucky, you're hot and you're lucky, and that's what Rutgers is right now. 6 of 8 from the floor.
Wow, why not? I mean, unlucky bounce, but then turned into a lucky bounce. I mean, it was a great read from Lassiter to be able to find her slipping in the post, but then bounce right into the hands of Dixon, and a nice shot.
Now, Matilda Eck can knock those down on the catch and shoot, but not there. Meanwhile, Nia Clouden, no shots, barely even a touch offensively. As Dixon floats it in, Rutgers up by a dozen, and Susie Merchant, the Michigan State head coach, wants to talk this over.
Saying like, hey, we don't care anything about our record. We don't care about anything about Michigan State's agenda. We just have to play our game.
Now, Michigan State trying to get into this ball game, shooting 2 of 7 so far, though, and can't get some points there. Did get a touch for Nia Clouden, which has been the focus so far because she's not been involved in the Spartans offense. Destiny Marshall and China Cornwell in for Rutgers as Brown spins but commits the offensive foul.
Wow, and she's laughing at that one right there. I didn't really see the elbow, but we know that is the move that Osh Brown looks to go through all season long. The one dribble turning. Looks like she went into the chest of her defender, so that's good defense right there by Hageman.
Yeah, credit the freshman Dee Hageman waiting on that right shoulder. Inside Smith, and the layup is good. First points for Michigan State in almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, Rutgers been doing a good job having a hold on them so far, but you got to know, I mean, the Spartans are going to put some points up. I mean, like I mentioned, they score so much. They scored 79 last game, had an 80-point game this year as well, and looks like they caught Osh Brown with another foul. She's headed to the bench. Yep, so it's been an interesting turn of events. You have your leader, Osh Brown, going to the bench right now in foul trouble. Change of momentum here.
They get Brown for setting the wide screen. Not a moving screen, but an emphasis over the last couple of years that you can't set a screen wider than your body. Brown extended that elbow a little bit. And so Brown, 2 fouls. Again, she's been Rutgers' most consistent player. Clouden has been one of the GOATs in college basketball this season, but off the mark there.
The first clean look for Clouden. I mean, they're going to look to, in so many ways, to get this offense involved through her. It runs through her, but you got to know, you know, people are trying to shut you down. They're face guarding you, not trying to give you as many touches because you also make the offense go.
Dixon crafty into the lane, but does not get the roll. And Hageman looks to run. Clouden takes it off the hop, and she'll shoot some free throws.
You see a little bit there, that GOAT mentality of Clouden. As soon as she catching on the fast break, great job recognition. Knows that her defender's going to fly past her. A little jab step, great read going to the right hand, and Lassiter just couldn't keep up there. Send her to the free throw line.
Well, you can start just about anywhere when you describe Nia Clouden's job this year as a senior. 21.2 points per game. 8th in the Big Ten in assists, among the conference leaders in steals, but she gets to the line more than almost anybody in the country. Her 126th made free throw right there.
Wow.
And she'll shoot one more, an 89% shooter at the line as well. So she gets there a ton. She does not do that often. She does not miss much. Now she does have her first point of the afternoon. Jalen Mason, Awa Sidibe in here for Rutgers. So all bench players minus Shug Dixon on a Rutgers team that has started to use its bench a little bit more. They ran 15 deep early in the season, slimmed the rotation once Big Ten play started, but have started to tap into that depth. As Marshall gets holed up, but feeds it for Dixon now. 5 to shoot. Dixon off the screen, looking for Sidibe, and Rutgers won't get a shot off. Good defensive possession by Michigan State.
Yeah, much better defense. Them rotating around, just being able to throw that trap out there, and that's what really threw everything off. They had Marshall over there on the sideline, brought the long, lengthy trap, and then just trying to get out of it, Shug Dixon the tap to Sidibe, but another shot clock violation for the Scarlet Knights.
Michigan State coming off a 79-58 win over Penn State, in which Matilda Eck knocked down 4 threes. She's been on fire as well lately.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely getting to her groove. I saw a little bit last game against Penn State. She just looked like a scoring machine, coming out there shooting threes, mid-range, cleaning up, doing everything, and they definitely need her to get going.
Clouden off the trap. Layup good, +1. The Spartans getting right back into this ball game.
Yeah, you talk about her getting to the free throw line. That's a lot of body control. You see her getting the steal there, kind of slowing up, hanging in the air just a little bit for a player to bump into her. I mean, great defense from Cloud, just reading that. It's got to be a better pass, getting Mason and fan one.
Now Clouden had a team-high 16 points in that win over Penn State Thursday. One of 5 Spartans in double figures. And now after not being in the offense really for the first couple of minutes, she's got 4 points, and it's a 9-0 Michigan State run to answer what was a 16-4 Rutgers open of this game.
Right, you have to settle your team here. Shook Dixon's going to have to let them know, settle down. Hey, we knew this was going to happen. This team is going to go on a run. You're a coach. You're telling your players, hey, Cloudon's going to get hurt. She's ranked nationally in scoring, so, I mean, she's going to get hurt. You have to settle your team down, run your offense, and find something that's working.
Singleton and Petrie are back in this game, and here is Singleton looking to attack, but walled off. Now Laisha Petrie with 5 seconds, and it's poked away. Rutgers 5 turnovers in the last couple of minutes. And Hageman will pick it out. Eck, she can hit it from there, but airballs it this time. Well, turnovers have been a big issue for Rutgers lately, averaging almost 23 of them over their last 4 games. And that's plagued them now over these last few minutes. Petrie, and it's off her and out of bounds. Another poke away along that sideline right in front of the Michigan State bench.
You see Petrie comes back on the floor, but I think Michigan State just really stepped up their defense right now. It was a little miscommunication at the beginning, some wide open shots for Petrie, but now they're just cleaning it up.
Let's get past for Clouden. Blow by move. I can't hit it over the defender in Mason. Sayoni Lassiter back on the court. Good outlet pass here. But the Spartans get back in the transition. Now coming up on the final minute of what has been an eventful first quarter here in Jersey. Rutgers the great start. Michigan State since then a 9-0 run. And another turnover by the Scarlet Knights. Hageman off the screen. Gets towards the rim, can't hit, got bumped. We play on. Extra pass. Eck looking to tie the game up, but off the back of the rim. And a third chance now for Michigan State. Clouden with a forward defending. Oh, gets to the crossover, and she's going to go right back to the free throw line.
Whew. Saw that move to get that separation.
Like that?
That was nice. That was nice. And, I mean, there you go, just showing you how most of the time she gets to the rim. It's really simple jab, step, but right here, just, oof, the nasty step back and cause Ty Singleton to come out and foul her. Singleton's got to stay on her feet. She has the clear height advantage, and that was a nasty move there for separation, but she's just got to play more sound defense.
Now this is what you don't want to do if you're Rutgers, which is give Nia Clouden the chance to get into the rhythm and get on a roll from the line. Again, among the nation's leaders in free throws, top 3 in the country in terms of makes and attempts. Now she'll get one more. Now Clouden now up to 6 points, and Michigan State extends the run.
Yeah, one thing about free throws, I mean, you're scoring when the clock's off. Being able to chip away at this lead, now only down 1, and Clouden just getting a better feel for the rim. I mean, seeing the ball go into the basket a number of times also gets you in your rhythm offensively. So you see her stepping up here, just already trying to be a leader, chipping away.
Rutgers over the last 5 minutes has committed 7 turnovers. They'll look for one good possession here as Lassiter dribbles. Shot clock off. 7 seconds. A low pass for Petrie. But she gets into the lane. Oh, acrobatic, and gets the bounce too. And that is a nice way to finish the first quarter.
they came out strong offensively, so they knew they had to get more aggressive. They threw some traps at them, just made several defensive adjustments in order to get back in this thing.
Now here is Nia Clouden, 6 points for the Michigan State star. Spartans on an 11-2 run to close that period. A slip downstairs for Tyre Parks, but can't connect on the lay-in. Jalen Mason will escort it across midcourt. Mason in here with Sidibe and Morris. Again, Rutgers trying to use the bench here. Mason in for Taya Singleton on the back down. That's a good-looking spin move, but she can't hit the lay-in either. Now Michigan State, we talked about Rutgers being great on the defensive side. Michigan State has been great on the offensive side, and Jayla James comes in for a quick 3 points.
Yeah, they were definitely letting it fly last game. 10 of 20, 50% from the three-point line. This team can shoot from the outside as well. I feel like, you know, their guard play is really important for them, and a great look there for just swinging the ball around. Rutgers going to have to get out on these shooters and have some stops offensively.
Well, the foul there is Michigan State trying to spring another one of those traps in the same spot. It's worked out for Michigan State a couple of times, right there where Zioni Lassiter has the ball.
Yeah, that's always a tough spot to have. You have the coach, the opposing coach, and the bench yelling at you. You know, that's always a tough place for a ball handler.
Mason got an open look, but it's off the front of the rim, and it's going back to the Spartans. Now, Michigan State now has been able to erase that Rutgers 12-point cushion the Scarlet Knights built up after a great first 5 minutes where they didn't turn the ball over and shot 7 of 9. A Michigan State team that has, again, won 3 in a row, first 3-game Big Ten winning streak in more than 2 years. As the no-look set up a good shot there for Hageman, but we're headed the other way with Rutgers. Lassiter now wave it off. It's an offensive foul downstairs. Now you can see Taya Singleton trying to plead her case. It's on her.
They are really been checking the post. The referees have really been checking the post players this game. I mean, just been making sure there hasn't been anything extra, running through players, elbows. We saw them catch Osh Brown with the elbow and a
you can sort of
moving
see
screen, but yeah, you kind of see her maybe running through her just a little bit there. I didn't see anything extra, but again, the Michigan State defense just really stepping up, whether she sold it or not. I mean, it's a turnover and the ball going back their way.
So Singleton to the bench where Brown is as well, both of them with 2 fouls. The Rutgers ramping up the defense as James commits her own offensive foul, lowering the shoulder.
Yeah, another shoulder offensive foul here. There's going to be a lot of bodies flying around.
Super seniors for Rutgers sliding in to take the charge. Now 7 of them on this Rutgers team, 7 super seniors. So you've got decades of college basketball experience, and this team is raring to get a W. Slip for Awa Sidibe, who has it partially blocked. Gets her own miss. Now Morris. Here's Dixon carving in. That's a tough shot. An air ball, but Sidibe with 3 seconds. Now Rutgers had a couple of chances there, but once again, Michigan State making things difficult. Hageman, one of the Big Ten's best passers. A good feed set up for Alicia Smith, and Michigan State has its first lead of the day.
Yeah, and Smith got that block down there last possession, then ran the floor, able to realize that she had some guards on her. You know, the size is messing with Rutgers just a little bit, but then she popped out, hit the nice mid-range shot. You see them finally getting into their offensive flow.
Yeah, Spartans team with great size. A lot of their guards are 6 foot plus as Morris off the mark on the mid-range, and this is going back to the Spartans. For as hot as Rutgers was to open the game, they're now 0 for 6 to start the second quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, the turnovers have something to say about that as well, because when they came out with that hot streak before the first media timeout, they didn't have any turnovers. They were sharing the ball, and now just a lot of one-on-one dribbling, trying to attack the basket off of screens. So I think that, you know, Rutgers has continued to look for the next pass over. I mean, that is something that was successful for them coming out of the gate today, but You see Sidibe there with the foul, but they're also going to have to be careful because, you know, this is the first half, and a lot of people are getting in foul trouble, so they're going to have to move their feet a little bit better against the Spartans.
Here's Clouden. Rutgers, you see her getting a double team. A good feed for Hageman, fouled on the three. And a bunch of free throws coming up now for the freshman.
Wow, another foul on a jump shooter. We saw Singleton foul Clouden earlier. And now just out of control, Morris running out there. Just, you can't leave your feet. You got to contest and not run, and just clearly knocks her over. But yeah, it just has to be sound defense. Just going back to the basics and fundamentals with the Scarlet Knights. They're going to have to run out there under control because, you know, you're doubling Clouden, you know, so you want to make sure that you're able to recover on defense.
2 makes so far for Didi Hageman, one of 2 freshmen in the rotation for Michigan State, and she has proven what she can do. 8 points, 5th in the Big Ten, 5.5 assists per game, and shouldn't be really surprised with the former Michigan Miss Basketball Award winner. She has made a great transition to the college game like her classmate Matilda Eck. Both Conference Freshman of the Week honorees this year. So Spartans by 5. Lassiter hobbling away from the play. Looked like she got tripped trying to cut. Now give it inside for Sidibe, who has it blocked away. Smith got it. Petrie. Big 3. Needed that from Laisha Petrie. She's been hot to start today, 3 of 3 from deep.
Yeah, nice quick pass from Lassiter. The offense was a little out of sorts, but Petrie can't hit it from all over the court, and a nice 3. They did need that one there.
Inside for Tamara Farquhar, couldn't sneak it in, and not on the second time either. Now Petrie's got 11 points to pace Rutgers here. Lassiter, that is, looks to be okay, playing through the hobble that she picked up. Good feed for Dixon, who opts to drive it. Oh, so crafty from Shug Dixon.
Hanging in the air. We talk a lot about her vision out there on the court, but she's got some acrobatic moves as well. Saw her double pumping in the air, and a nice lay-in there, and Lassiter kicking it out.
Clouden drives the lane and lays it in. And Michigan State's star again able to answer.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a star, not afraid of big moments, not shying away, knows the ball needs to be in her hand. A great read there and just laid it up and in.
Petrie hoists again, that time back of the rim. And a step or 2 behind that 3-point arc. Hageman almost lost the dribble, but she'll back it out now. Now Farquhar face up, she's wide open and left it short again. Experienced Big Ten player there in Tamara Farquhar, former Purdue star. Played there for 4 years. Here's Dixon, right back to work. And you can see her ability to handle the ball. And that time Lassiter throws it away. Clouden 3-on-3, finds the mid-range. And Michigan State off the mark on a couple of jumpers here. Loves the Screaming Goat. And it went on this Eastern road trip that the Spartans are on. Came to Penn State on Thursday. The Goat is 1-0 so far, Dom, and maybe the harbinger of good things to come for Michigan State.
It could be a good luck charm for them, so we'll see. I mean, we know that they're going to rely heavy on their Screaming Goat. Clouden out there to get going, and we talked so much about her game and just how she's been getting recognized nationally, and you know, just her being a go-to scorer for the Spartans, and also getting it done defensively. We saw her get some steals, and you know, she lets her game do the talking, and or should I say the screaming.
Nicely done.
So yeah, it's a pretty fun thing to see the Screaming Goat out there.
Now Petrie from deep off the rim. Now Tiger Woods has the Sunday red polo. Baseball and softball teams have the rally caps. Now Michigan State just picked up its second road win of the season at Penn State on Thursday, and maybe you can thank the Screaming Goat.
There's always some superstitious thing that,
Athletes
people
are always
go through.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. My socks are a little off. I feel like I can't make free throws this game. That's the problem. My ponytail is touching the back of my neck, So, maybe the GOAT could be that for them. We don't want to jinx it. But, yeah.
Screaming GOAT is over on the sideline there somewhere. Speaking of, here's Clouden. Oh, great dribble drive, but layup not there. Putback is. And 2 points for Alicia Smith, cleaning things up from Jayla James.
Oh, another offensive rebound. Now the Rutgers are getting them down in the shot clock, making some stops, but, they're going to have to be careful with these offensive rebounds. Michigan State is great at putting the ball back.
Dixon, step back, long two, and misses it wide right. Clouden trying to feed Smith there. And Michigan State commits a turnover. Not many of those so far for the Spartans, but this will give Rutgers the ball back down 4.
Yeah, and it's a low-scoring game right now, so I feel like Rutgers are exactly where they need to be. You see the layup here and another putback by Parks, but, Rutgers hasn't really been able to score a lot offensively since the opening tip, but, you got to be happy with, keeping Mississippi State to 27 points right now with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Tyus Singleton, Osh Brown, both pinned on the bench for Rutgers with 2 fouls. So the guards have had to go to work. And that time Dixon couldn't put it in. Now Singleton and Brown, that's the Rutgers starting backcourt, 2 forwards. Here's Eck. Oh, good cutting pass for Alicia Smith, and some free throws coming up.
Great pass, kind of dribbled around in a circle and created that lane for her teammate. Nice pass. We talk about Eck, who could score the basketball, but also facilitating is part of her game as well. A nice cut there. Get to the free throw line.
So here's Smith. You mentioned Farquhar, the Big Ten transfer. A couple of them on Michigan State. And Smith, the second-year transfer from Penn State, now a graduate student at the Spartans. And she's good on both. That extends the Michigan State lead to its largest of the day at 6. Now don't forget, Rutgers led by 12 in this one early. It was 16-4 at the first timeout, 5 minutes in. And since then, the Spartans have very much settled in, and they've disrupted Rutgers' offense. Here's Destiny Marshall getting to that left hand. Off the glass, no. And the fight for the rebound won by Tyre Parks. Eck. Farquhar could have faced up and shot that there. Now Clouden coming off the screen. Eck catch and shoot on the 3. Another offensive board. She gets a second try. And the same results. How about the third option? And finally Parks puts it in.
3 times a charm. 3 scoring opportunities there. The offensive rebounding has got to be something that Rutgers adjust. I felt like, they were fouling a lot at the beginning, but now they're just crashing the boards too hard, and they just got to put a body on the Spartans every time the shot goes up.
Rutgers was unhappy with some of the offensive rebounds that Maryland got late in that game Thursday. He thought that was a big reason why the Terrapins were able to pull away. Looking for an answer, Marshall got it back. Her second try, not there. And Rutgers will get a third opportunity. Now Marshall coming off a big game Thursday, a Rutgers career high with 10 points in 21 minutes. Recently moved her position from the power forward to the small forward spot. I'm hoping that pays some dividends. It certainly did last time out. Now Petrie trying to navigate and had it poked away. Now Rutgers will get it right back on the errant pass. Now if you're Rutgers, you want to get one here. Been an 8-0 Michigan State run over the last 4 minutes. Dixon way out top. 7 seconds here. Petrie trying to create. A fight for the rebound. Hageman's got it. Shot clock off. Now went behind the back for Clouden. Maybe a bit too ambitious.
Yeah, doing a little bit too much there, trying to kick it to Clouden for the shot.
For this last possession of the half. So 6 seconds here. Victoria Morris off the crossover. Stripped. Now we're going to tie up. It'll be Michigan State ball, but just 4/10 left in the first half.
And a nice crossover there from Morris, but I mean, you got to look to the wing to kick out.
Well, that'll put a cap on what was a resurgent performance from the Spartans bracketology. So they're in the conversation. This is an important day for them.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Clouden, who's 9th in the NCAA in scoring, I mean, that's going to definitely ring some bells, get some people looking at you, because they can definitely make a run for this thing. And I think that, you know, they can clean up with their defense and definitely turn it into the offense that we know they can score.
Both teams exchanged the turnovers here early. Also big for Rutgers. You see Osh Brown out there, Tyus Singleton out there. Those are the two starting bigs for Rutgers, both pinned on the bench for the entirety of the second quarter, really, with foul trouble.
And you really saw it, too. I mean, we talked a little bit about the rebounding game, and one thing that Rutgers is really good at is rebounding. One thing Osh Brown is good at is rebounding, and you saw it being missed in that first half.
Dixon knifed her way to the rim, but could not finish with the layup. And Brown played 6 minutes in the first half, somebody averaging a double-double lately. Singleton played 8. Pick it back out. Open look for D.D. Hageman. It's going to stay here. A foul on the rebounding action against Rutgers.
You see the players kind of looking around like, what can we do? You know, I'm making a play on the ball, and, you know, I've already gotten in some foul trouble in the first half, so just a little bit of a frustrating game for the post players. Just the referee is just not letting it happen today.
And that's the third foul against Singleton. So she's got 3, and Brown is playing with 2 of her own. Clouden behind the screen, navigating her way to the rim. A couple of layups missed for both teams here. Some great moves from the guards today, but not as many finishes. As Petrie will send it back out. Here's Shug Dixon. She had 8 points in the first half, 4 of 9 shooting. Backdoor cut. Brown keeps it in. Now Petrie thought about the 3, but good closeout. Now Dixon late in the timer. That's tipped out of play. Rutgers ball, but just 3 seconds left to shoot.
And you see every ball just getting tipped. The Spartans just everywhere defensively, making sure there's no easy shots. I mean, when Rutgers came out the tip in the first half, they just made sure they weren't going to get any more easy looks.
In for Singleton. Petrie puts it back in. The shot clock did not reset. Petrie beat it anyway.
Right place at the right time, and they definitely needed that bucket. Been struggling a little bit offensively to get going once again, but, you know, they needed that, and they need the rebounding. That's going to be the difference in this game.
A game-high 13 points now for Laisha Petrie. Tamara Farquhar. Now Hageman on the cut, and poked away from behind. Dixon almost had a steal. Now that is Rutgers' bread and butter right there. You mentioned how, once again, Scarlet Knights are outstanding defenders. They rank top 4 in scoring defense, in steals, and in blocks. And that time, Dixon does get the steal. Here she comes. Off the hesitation move. Oh, yeah, off the glass.
Nice hesitation, turning around, looking a little bit like Osh Brown down there with the back to the basket. Little hezo turnaround off the glass. That was really nice from Shug Dixon.
Dixon had a move back in the first half. The little hesitation along the baseline, hanging in the air on the layup. That was a great move. This is also going to go on the highlight reel. And the free throw in and out. So Dixon 10 points. She joins Petrie in double figures, but it stays a 2-possession game. Clouden off the screen series, bullying her way in. Now Eck, and Lassiter was a bit too aggressive trying to swipe the ball away.
Yeah, right idea. got caught through. Making Eck put the ball on the floor. You know she's a good three-point shooter, but Lassiter just almost got away with one, kind of grabbed her in her arm coming through for the steal. But you see here, Rutgers' defensive intensity is stepping up here.
So Lassiter's got a pair of fouls now herself. And look at the battling down on the post. Corner shot for Smith, no. And the quiet start to the third quarter continues for the Spartans. Dixon. And Rutgers will reset here. Chance to make this a one-possession game. Brown trying to get positioning, but Alicia Smith not allowing her. A fight for the rebound off the Singleton miss and headed the other way. Clouden off the burst of speed. Some good transition defense here by Rutgers. Lassiter again trying to knock it away. That's what she does best. But instead, wide open look for Clouden, and it drops in for three.
And yeah, she can shoot the three as well. We've seen some hesitation dribbles and driving to the basket. I thought Rutgers did a great job on defense, making her pick up her dribble twice, but then got caught sleeping, just helping a little bit too much. You can't leave the shooter, and she knocked it down.
Yeah, Clouden is very nearly 50% field goal, 40% three, and 90% free throw line, which is the gold standard for shooters. 5 to shoot here. Dixon has to hoist. And Brown commits the foul going over. That's 3 on her as well.
You see her frustrated a little bit there, trying to move, but a great box out down low. Parks put in the body on her. Smith been doing a good job down there, just keeping the bigs from getting those easy rebounds, but a nice bouncing shot from Clouden. I mean, continuing to pull away. They're only up 7 here, but you see these offense just coming out. I mean, Rutgers getting good stops here, but
with 3 fouls. Lassiter to the bench with 2. Ala Sidibe, that is, and Jalen Mason in. Matilda Eck. She will not get the same bounce from that rim.
yeah, she's a player that you don't want to leave over there all alone either. She gets going, gets the high hand. She can definitely knock down some threes.
Yeah, Eck had a career-high 27 points a couple of weeks ago in a game at Ohio State. Here's Petrie through 2 defenders, and she got fouled. Now, Alicia Petrie has been the best all-around offensive individual today for Rutgers.
Well, she's so versatile, you know, putting the ball on the floor, great read, going for the steal there, can't gamble on defense, and, you know, putting her teammate in a tough position there. But we saw Petrie knock down 3 threes in the first half. She's got to demand the basketball, got to want to score on offense here. And I think that she can score in multiple ways. You see her here making the free throws. It's just something that they have to do to get their offense from being so stagnant.
And we talk a lot about how Petrie, when she was at Bradley for those 3 seasons, was an outstanding scorer, led the Missouri Valley Conference last year with 17.5 points per game. And now here at Rutgers for Petrie, it's 5 double-figure games in her last 6 outings. And she's got a game-high 15 right now. Hageman feed it downstairs for Smith on the tough turnaround and hits it anyway. That was well contested by Rutgers.
Yeah, nice bucket there. I mean, just a little bit of a fadeaway with the turnaround, just shooting right over the top of the defense, and there's really not much you can do about that one.
Petrie gets her look from 3. That's off the side of the rim. And you can see Michigan State trying to work around those screens with Petrie getting hot from distance. Back inside for Smith, and 2 more points for her.
And you see what the Spartans are doing, and it's great recognition from Clouden. You know, everyone is expecting Clouden to score, but Osh Brown is in foul trouble. You got to keep pounding it in the paint, and that's what they've been doing right now, taking it to her. Osh Brown is not going to foul this much time left in the game, so Smith just taking advantage of that.
Yep, Smith's got a dozen points now to lead the Spartans. Dixon fading away. That's a really tough look. Rutgers has had a lot of those here in the last few minutes. Trying to create some extra possessions. As Smith keeps it in play. Dixon gets tangled up with Dee Hageman, and we're going to stop things.
At the end of the day, when it comes around to injuries and COVID and all other things that have been plaguing this season, it's just you just have to get it done.
Selection committee does not really care how many injuries you have or how many players you have out because of COVID or other things. And Michigan State 5-3 in the Big Ten. They've got a really tough slate in February. Tough because it's going to be tough to get wins, but good because you're going to be able to get some quality wins that will put you on the bubble for real.
And you know, it's always interesting to hear how the coaching style of a team, right? I mean, they took on Baylor, they took on South Carolina in the non-conference matchup, and you think like, what a great pass there. You see the high-low, but a little bit back to my point, you think about like how some coaches like to approach it, you know, kind of ease into the season. But, you know, you're talking about being in the conversation nationally. You take on those big national competitors from the start and see what you need to work on, and that's something that Coach Merchant has done.
Yeah, tough opponents on the schedule for Michigan State. And Rutgers trying to get back in this game, and that will help. Shug Dixon banks in the 3.
She kind of shook her head on that one. Like, I don't think she believed that she was going to make it, but a nice bucket. They needed that.
They did, and Michigan State's been trying to pound it inside, but that time does not work out. Again, Osh Brown playing with a couple of fouls here as another try by Dixon is off the mark, but Brown, has the offensive board. Here's Jalen Mason and China Cornwell. Petrie. Dixon may have to hoist again. Instead inside for Brown late in the shot clock, and a late whistle. She got fouled on the closeout.
Yeah, I've been looking for Osh Brown to be a little bit, I mean, I know the fouls have really been messing with their game today, but it's got to be a little bit more active in the offense. I love that Shug Dixon gave her some touches because I feel like they've been settling for these outside shots. We saw Petrie hit some threes, but Osh Brown, I would like to have seen a pump fake, you know, and attack the glass, but she's just been a really out of sorts for the foul counts that she's been getting. So it's nice to see her get some more touches and even go to the free throw lines.
And Osh Brown at the free throw line here for a couple of shots. Should mention, too, back in the earlier portion of this third quarter, it looked like, from our vantage point, there was a foul against Osh Brown and later on a foul against Tyus Singleton. They ruled both of the fouls against Singleton. So Tyus Singleton's on the bench with 4. Osh Brown playing with just 2 fouls. Notable.
Very notable, and I mean, you would even think that Michigan State's coaching staff or the team thought the same thing, the way they were pounding it inside to Osh Brown, thinking that she had 3 fouls.
Thought so. Thought that was the case.
Very interesting.
Rutgers playing on with Singleton stuck on the bench. Brown still out on the floor, and see if they can turn some of these turnovers into offense. They can't. Give it away. Hageman, 2-on-2, explodes to the rim for 2.
Great read from the freshman. Just Shug Dixon just got to have a better pass, kicking out to the perimeter. Right idea, making the defense move, but you got to make sure they move, and the person on the wing has also got to make that pass a little bit easier, moving up when Shug Dixon drives.
Brown trying to get positioning, working on Farquhar. Spin to the left shoulder. Oh, yeah. Count it and 1.
There it is. There it is. You see her fired up there. Fired up. There it is. She's talking to her teammates like, look, I'm sorry, y'all. I've been MIA, but she's got to make a comeback here. They can chip away at this lead. Plenty of time left to play. Osh Brown, her favorite move right there. Turn around just pretty off the glass. I love it.
The one at the line here for Brown now up to 5 points and 3 boards. They can't connect on the free throws. So it stays a 7-point game. Rutgers a couple of chances to whittle the deficit at the line. Trying to get it away from Eck. Well, Michigan State will settle things down. Nicely done there by the 2 freshmen. Look inside. Parks kick out for Hageman. Floated downstairs, looking for more post points. They won't find it. And Brown starts the break. Mason. Oh, that's a great cut to the rim, and Mason finds two.
Yeah, nice transition right there, passing it around the perimeter. Osh Brown started the break with the rebound. Shook Dixon kicking to the wing, and then Mason just reading it perfectly. Slow transition defense from the Spartans.
Under a minute to go, third quarter. Rutgers has it down to a 5-point deficit. Spartans looking to answer. Eck can do that, and she hits. Big three.
Yeah, she's been quiet for a while, but we said it. We know she can hit the three. You can't leave her out there open. I mean, I know she had been quiet for a while, but you just have to make sure you get a handle on her.
Got a 7-second difference between the shot and game clock here. Inside for Brown. Right back to work. Mason open look for a triple. No. And then a foul on the rebounding action as Tyre Parks got there first. And fouls against Cornwell. And she picks up her first. So Michigan State ball, timer off, 10 to shoot. Maybe they'll look for a couple more points from Eck. But Rutgers springs the guard trap, almost works. 3 seconds left. Clouden emerges, and Michigan State won't be able to get a shot.
Yeah, you see her patting her chest there, Clouden. She knows that she's a leader. Crowded all the defense, but just couldn't get a good pass.
So that'll send us to the fourth. Still a ball game. Michigan State trying to pull away. Rutgers looking for one more of those comebacks. We start the final stanza next here on Big Ten Plus. Smith, we talked about her as the former Penn State player, now second year at Michigan State, and trying to will the Spartans to another W. And Rutgers trying to will themselves to their first Big Ten W. Shook Dixon has had a big day. Osh Brown trying to get going, and well, a way she can do that is by getting to the free throw line.
I mean, we talked about free throws. They were 9 of 10. Michigan State was 9 of 10 in the first half, and Rutgers did not go to the line not one time. Not once. And you know, a big part of that is Osh Brown. She goes to the free throw line a lot for them. She's aggressive. She attacks. And you see her right there. And I'm pretty sure in the huddle, they're telling her, hey, she's got to get more touches. You got to get something going. She is the gear that really gets this offense going.
So Rutgers now 4 of 7 at the stripe, and most of those are from Osh Brown, the active D1 leader in rebounds and double-doubles. Only 4 players right now in D1 women's hoops who have at least 1,600 career points and 1,000 rebounds. Brown is one of them. And that's been an outstanding 5 years of basketball for her. It makes it a 6-point game as Michigan State passes it right through the guard trap. Tyre Parks wide open.
Talk about Hageman. I mean, as a freshman, saw the 2 defenders coming out at her and just look for the next open pass. Just court awareness and IQ, just really knowing that she was able to get that pass there. And, I mean, that was a veteran pass and find down low.
Yeah, her and Nia Clouden have both racked up a couple of assists today. As Brown tries to answer, can't hit, and there's Clouden on the rebound. Sparking the break. Clouden, can she go coast to coast? And she gets fouled. Osh Brown was with her step for step.
Yeah, one thing I love that Clouden does is she knows when her defender is in a bad spot. So what she does is she just runs her body into him. Look, you saw Osh Brown running backwards. There was no way she was going to be able to stop or take the charge. Clouden just head up the whole time, runs her body into him. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that call. You know, you got a defender off kilter like that.
I don't think Rutgers was set there defensively. You can see Shook Dixon trying to plead her case to the official. Parks able to capitalize on it. Saying to Josh Howell, we weren't ready to go, but clearly the officials and Michigan State were. Well, it makes it a 10-point game now. Brown, that's a tough shot. He does not get the roll. Good box out, too, by Smith, keeping Taya Singleton off the glass.
Yeah, we mentioned Smith. One thing she's doing is the little thing. She knew that it was going to be a rebounding battle down there, just really using her body, sacrificing for her team.
2 more points looking for him for Parks. She's going to have to find him at the free throw line. couple times now that Parks or Smith have been wide open downstairs.
Yeah, you saw Petrie just really upset about it, talking to her teammates in the huddle like, hey, we got to talk this out. What is the issue going on down here? So just a little bit of frustration and miscommunication for the Scarlet Knights.
Now one more at the line here for Parks. 8 points and 7 rebounds, and missed them both at the line. Good rebound by Singleton, too, and you can see her back in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Josh Brown playing with 3. There's Petrie, the catalyst back in the first half. Still a game-high 15 points for her. Brown, and she was fouled from behind as Parks tried to deny.
Yeah, and Petrie's been a little quiet as well. I mean, one thing this offense has got to do is someone's got to step up and say something. You know, they can't just stand there. Someone has to move. Petrie's got to call for a screen, make something to create. She's that type of player. She can create things for other players as well. So just got to get a little bit more action.
Post-to-post passing, knocked away though. Parks put her hand down and poked it away from what could have been an easy 2 for Singleton. And then Michigan State hands it right back. Rutgers trying to find some momentum here on offense. Right back inside, Singleton deep down low and turned it over. Tried to take a power dribble and lost the handle.
Yeah, lost the handle there. The double team came over. I mean, it says something again about Michigan State's defense. I mean, Michigan State has been everywhere. I mean, tipping passes, double team coming, stopping, slowing down the offense. I mean, they've been everywhere. Oh,
Nia Clouden, yeah, extra step. Tried to wrap that pass around and maybe started the gather a little too early.
Yeah, she's been a little quiet for them as well. I mean, Rutgers' defense been holding the Spartans to, 49 points at this point. I mean, they're doing a great job defensively. They just haven't been able to get anything really going on offense. I feel like they're trying to score outside of the plays that could be working for them. You know, when they came out from the opening tip, we talked so much about it because they started out great, you know, really executing and looking for shots that were within the offense, and now just too many one-on-one situations, trying to do too much, so they have to get back to what was working.
It was a 16-4 Rutgers run to start the game. Now Sidibe banks in the 3. The bank clearly is open for Rutgers today. First Dixon, now Sidibe.
You see her laughing like, I mean, I guess, you know, hey, it went in, it's a bucket, you move on. You move on. You don't really think about it. You just see it going down, and right here, 7-point game, they need to stop.
Clouden gives it for Farquhar, puts it up, no. They've traveled initially to start that drive too. And Rutgers with the ball, chance to make this a 2-possession game. And Rutgers to start the game made 7 of its first 9 shots. Petrie hit a couple of threes, the best the offense has looked all season. Brown lowers the shoulder and gets the bounce. 5-point game. Michigan State wants a timeout.
Now they're just looking to give her more touches on the offensive end because they know that this is their veteran, this is their leader. They have to work the offense through her, and she's been doing a great job so far.
A look in the corner, Eck would be a huge 3, but how about a big offensive rebound for Alicia Smith? All the way around the horn for Eck. Now Clouden. Rutgers was on its heels for a moment. How about this matchup? Clouden switched on to Mason. Now to the roller. Extra pass for Smith, and does not get that little roll. And a rebound for Brown to finally stop the Michigan State possession. And Rutgers can make this a 1-possession game here. Dixon, and there comes Brown. You see the attention she requires. Kick for Dixon. 8 to shoot here. She'll have to create. 4 seconds. Dixon off the screen, hoists it up, And does not get the bounce, does not get the carom that time.
Yeah, they're going to need a big stop here. I mean, that wasn't the greatest offensive play you could run there, but Chuck Dixon just trying to create something. There's got to be more movement on the wings for the offense.
Clouden lowers her shoulder and explodes all the way to the 10.
I'll tell you one thing that makes you great is also recognizing when it's time to score. Her teammates were successful down in the paint. She threw it out to Eck to knock down a 3, but then right there, knowing that her team needed a bucket, she put her head down and she got to the rim.
Alicia Petrie trying to do that there, but halfway down and out. And then a foul on the rebounding action too. And it's on Petrie, so she's got 3 fouls. You see Shug Dixon going to the Rutgers bench there. She was holding her hand, it looked like, and she's doing that right there as well on that shot clock buzzer beater that she took. Looked like she maybe jammed it or hit it on something. So Dixon, who's got 13 points today, goes to the bench.
Yeah, like on that last floater, she just looked like she was in pain there. There was a few defenders around her, but looks like she could have just came down on someone's arm or something.
So Sayoni Lassiter in the game here. Clouden. Michigan State putting the ball in the hands of their leader. And Rutgers commits another foul. That's on Lassiter. So 4th foul now against Rutgers, and that is 3 on Lassiter. Coming right there, I guess the little left hand, trying to ward off Clouden. Been a relatively, for her standards, relatively quiet day so far for Clouden. But still 13 points. And a great cross-court feed to set up Matilda Eck for 3.
Oh, yeah, I said it. Quiet day for Clouden, but she knows that her teammates can also score the ball, and you see all the attention on Clouden, leaving Eck over there wide open, and Clouden just found her. Great court vision, and that's part of being the GOAT right there.
Brown bumped, and she'll shoot a few more free throws as Michigan State now has scored the last 5 points. Trying to keep Rutgers around in this one.
Yeah, and like I said, it's been a frustrating one for Osh Brown, but, you know, I've been saying it throughout the game. You have to be happy at keeping Michigan State so close. You know, if you could chip away here, 3 minutes left to play, they're just going to have to generate some offense. And you see Osh Brown just trying to do that, but got to make your free throws when it gets down to the stretch.
A 63% free throw shooter on the season, and Brown is now 3 of 6 today at the line. Every point here is crucial for Rutgers, trailing by 10 with 3.5 to go. Oh, and she needed that. Gets it off the back of the rim, and back down to single digits. And it's in for Clouden, and she gets right through it.
Yeah, she's just so quick. Couldn't beat her to the spot. Marshall kind of let her out of there. I mean, the speed of Clouden.
Maybe she'll create now. Trying to, dumps it off for Smith. Great setup. How about the putback? No, not there. And Brown clears for Rutgers. Now, once again, an opportunity for Rutgers to make this a 2-possession game. Now, Dixon not on the court. Petrie's not either. 2 creators. Marshall, mid-range. No. And fight for that all-important rebound. It's a tie-up. Can the Spartans break it as easily this time? Hageman, and she does. Great heady turn by the freshman. It looks so simple, but knowing where the defense isn't there to get across the midcourt line, it's a great move by a very talented freshman. And Clouden will slow it down. Michigan State wants to use all of the clock here. Off the screen. Warded away. Now inside, Parks turns and lays it up.
She's fired up. Quick bucket there, being able to find her. Just had the seal on the inside and be able to put it up. Not think twice about it, not put the ball on the floor. Just score an easy bucket and lay up.
Double figures. Smith with 14, Clouden's got 13, X got 11, And Parks now has 10. Now Rutgers needs points and quickly. Petrie back in the game here. Comes off the screen. Keeps her feet. Again, a late shot clock. Gotta go. Trying to get it downstairs for Brown, and then it's poked away. You can see Petrie looking downstairs, trying to create the angle for the entry pass, and it just did not happen.
And those are some of the instances of when I say Petrie gets a little passive, because she had a big on her. She has got to drive the basketball. When she gets that, she's so quick with the first step, just trying to find a pass there, and kind of it wasn't there. She would just have to find that recognition and put the team on her back, go to the basket. She was scoring the ball today. So, I mean, it's just a tough possession there offensively for the Scarlet Knights.
And you saw Brown give the foul on Clouden. That's going to put the 89% prolific free throw shooter at the stripe, and it's also Osh Brown's 4th foul. I want to go back to something you said too, Dom, because comparatively for Nia Clouden's 2022 standards, it's a pedestrian stat line, which is, I know sounds silly, 15 points and 6 assists, but when her team has needed her, especially down the stretch, she's made some big plays, not necessarily putting the ball in the bucket.
Right, and I mean, it takes that. You know, it's not always scoring that wins games. We saw her get steals. We saw her make assists to her teammates, really trusting them as well. And that's part of being a leader. You know, your teammates know and they trust you to be able to make the right decision, whether the ball is in your hands or not, whether it's a screen, whether it's a steal, whether it's a pass. And she's just been showing while she's one of the top guards in the country tonight, just really being able to share the basketball as well as get hers to lead their team to a victory.
Now Clouden has assisted. Now here's a 3 from Mason. Fight for the rebound, and it's a foul, sending this the other way. Now Mason got an open look for 3, and Rutgers has to fight for the loose balls, the rebounds. And that is the last foul on Osh Brown. She picked up her 5th there. On what has been, as you've said a lot, Dom, sort of a frustrating day for Osh Brown. In foul trouble early, so couldn't get in a rhythm, and out now with 10 points and 6 boards.
Yeah, and they really needed her presence down low. I mean, they need her pretty much every game. You know, they have – Coach Eman said that. You know, he expects Osh Brown to step up and be consistent every game. But right now it's just a really tough one, and it was really unfortunate for the way that Rutgers was able to come out so aggressively in a scoring position and getting stops on defense. And Osh Brown is the anchor to all of that, you know, them really being able to get things going on offense and defense. So being without her, they had to find some kind of answer. And so, you know, it was just a really tough night for her, tough day for her.
One more at the line here for Tyre Parks, and she gets 1 of 2. That makes it a 14-point difference, and that should just about do it as we hit the final minute here in Jersey. Rutgers gave the Spartans a challenge, led by a dozen in the first quarter, but Michigan State with another team performance, 4 in double figures, and the Spartans on their way to their 4th consecutive Big Ten victory. Something I was going to say earlier, Nia Clouden in his 4th quarter, only 4 points scored, but responsible for 11 of the 14 total scored by Michigan State, plus with all her assists racked in there. So not just the scoring, but the passing too from Clouden. Late in the shot clock, looking for 2 more. Give them to her. And Nia Clouden puts the capper on Michigan State's 4th consecutive victory. Yeah,
and it's just so strategic of how she scores her points. And you saw there just very simple moves. She also can get in her bag with some moves as well, but right there just a nice mid-range. And once again, it just speaks volumes to the leadership that she has for the Spartans.
Now, Michigan State is a team that is on the edge of the NCAA tournament bubble, with each passing consecutive W getting closer and closer, and this is yet another one for the Spartans.